Me in? Well, count us both in. Brent Ward is with us. It is time for the voice for real estate, and I guess that would be you.
That would be me.
Yes,
how are you, Jimmy?
I'm
doing
doing
okay?
fine. This show is presented by the Central West Tennessee Association of Realtors and sponsored by Leaders. I almost choked myself on all the pollen. Leaders Mortgage Services, Allstate Insurance. Angie Hooten Hughes is the agent there. Pete Dubuisson with National Property Inspections, and Bird Attorneys. What a great lineup of sponsors.
Yeah, I'm really happy about all of our sponsors. We've got none of the same two. They're all different ones. They're all real estate related. Just really happy about that. Actually going to have Charles Bird will be on Monday.
Oh, good.
With us, so
Good
we'll
deal.
get some legal tips for real estate.
Yeah, we can
coming on
always
board.
use them. Man, those guys that do real estate, they have got to be constantly being updated on all the changes.
Interesting you should say that, because
Yeah.
that's how come I wasn't here Monday of last week. I was actually
right.
in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Yes.
Getting educated.
Getting educated, yes. I came back with just a head full of knowledge when I came back. It's just how you go about utilizing all that knowledge you come back with.
True.
Yeah.
The hard part is those seminars, I don't know, they have to be somewhat generalized because it changes from state to state.
It does. Mostly when I go off like that, they're trying to hit it from a national standpoint,
Right.
but they really push about, getting your state's information. And, of course, it's my job to keep up with the local things that are going on.
True.
But there's a lot of interesting stuff out there, and a lot of which I'm going to talk about a little bit this morning when we get into the real estate side of it.
Good deal.
So,
Good deal. Before we get into real estate,
yes.
tonight's the night. It all boils down to two. Did you have a chance to watch any of the Final Four?
I watched about half of both the games over the weekend.
Yep.
And was not happy, along with everybody else, with the Auburn-Virginia outcome, because I thought that was horrible to end the game on a foul. But whatever.
That happened twice in the late in the Final Four, and maybe it was in the 8. But there was another one that ended on a late. Should have been a no. Maybe it was a Tennessee game. Should have been a no call.
Oh yeah, is that when they went into overtime with Iowa?
Yeah,
and then ended up looking really bad.
I felt a little bit better about it after Charles Barkley said, after looking at the replay, he felt like, yes, there was a foul there, but he didn't go far enough to say, but at that point in the game, I don't think they should have called it. It didn't affect the shot, in my humble opinion, and I have called exactly 0 ball games from an official standpoint. But the double dribble should have been called. That official was right there.
Right there.
He just missed it.
Yeah, I am not a basketball player, as you can tell from my stature, and also I'm not a big basketball fan. However, when you get into the tail end of the playoffs, it starts to get kind of exciting.
Yes, it does.
And that was really a good game, and thought, because I think Virginia is the one everybody's kind of picked to win the whole thing.
Yep.
So thinking they were getting ready to get knocked off, I think was pretty exciting. And it was Auburn. So you got an SEC team in there.
True.
That's always nice. But, yeah, I watched that over and over and over again, and I agree with you 100%. Never called a game, but it didn't look like it affected that shot.
Nope.
And it looked like it was already out of his hands before the collision.
That's what
ever
I thought
happened.
too. That's what I thought too.
But hey,
again,
we don't get paid for that, right?
That's right. Our opinion is worth exactly what you just paid for.
That's right. Exactly.
That's right.
I hear that all the time, as a matter of fact.
So what's your pick tonight? Virginia or Texas Tech?
Okay, this is funny, but my sons and I, we play a lot of football games on Xbox One, 360, whatever.
Right.
And we play Texas Tech quite a bit as far as that's our team we pick.
Yeah.
So we're all pulling for Texas Tech just because we've played as Texas Tech on our football game. So
right.
That's who we're pulling for. And I was mad about the outcome of the Virginia game, so we're going for Texas Tech.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with Virginia.
Okay.
I like Tony Bennett. I like the coach.
Okay. All right.
I think he's a class guy and a straight up guy. So,
I will agree with you on that one. He I don't know anything about him, but I just seen him on the sidelines. He looked like he was
all that other stuff aside on the way that game was ended, but for that kid to stand in front of that many people and hammer 3 free throws in a row to win that game, you got to give him a little bit.
You got to give him some credit, but he was an 81.4% free throw shooter, so you know
that's true. That's true.
I was not expecting a miss out of those 3 shots.
No,
Let's just put it like that.
They even tried to ice him, and he wouldn't have any of it.
Yeah, see, like I said, I'm not a basketball fan, so I was just like, what just happened? Why did he only take 2? We're going to commercial break. So, anyways.
All right, let's talk some real estate.
Let's talk some real estate.
You got some numbers, and
I have paper in front of me.
real estate's all about numbers.
Real estate is all about the numbers. This is the side of it that I really like, is the stats, because, if you're not buying or selling a house, you probably really don't think about it too often, just to be honest with you.
That's true. You don't.
But there is a lot of real estate that transpires in our little West Tennessee market that we have here. And, CWTAR covers 9 counties. We've talked about that in the past. And so just going to give you a little stats this morning as far as, what's taking place. So back in 2018, first quarter of 2018, we closed 232 houses in Madison County.
Wow.
So that's in 3 months. And that was in 2018. So this year we're up 10%, and we've closed 257 houses in the same first quarter, 2019. And here's a big kicker for anybody that's looking to sell their house. So the average house price, keep in mind that spans a big one, and we're going to talk about that because everybody loves, like, what's the least expensive, what's the most expensive.
Everybody wants to know.
So the average house in 2018 in that first quarter was $159,611. That's not too bad for Jackson, Tennessee.
No.
Well, this year it's up 1% to $161,500. So that's your average house price in Madison County right now. That includes Jackson city limits as well. And the days on the market have dropped from 2018 from 68 days, 10 days down, to 58 days now. So houses are hitting the market, and they're not even making it 2 months before, they're under contract.
Still, inventory still low?
Inventory is still low. And that's a lot of questions. A lot of people want to know, well, why is inventory so low? So that's one of the things that I got a pretty drilled into my head while I was in Austin this past week. Lawrence Yoon, who is the NAR, National Association of Realtors forecaster, and he's on CS, is that NBC News? He's all over the place, ABC, everywhere else.
Right.
And he was talking about that. So a lot of this stems all the way back to 2007 and 8 when the recession hit, and a lot of builders and developers went out of business. Nothing to develop. Nobody would loan them money. The banks got very conservative and very tight, and weren't loaning any money, any new funds. And so now then, the new home building is not caught up, is not able to catch up with the buyers that are out there looking to purchase property, because that's one thing people don't realize. I was not in real estate in the 80s, but I hear it all the time about how high the interest rates were. I'm sure you were appraising houses back then, were you not?
Every now and then.
Every now and then, yeah, when one would come up, right?
Yeah.
But, when you move from town to town, you still got to have a house, and that's the thing about real estate, is it still has to go, even during the foreclosure cycle when we went through that back right after the recession. But really right now, the biggest problem is the building just hasn't been able to catch up to the home buyers' demand. And another factor that I thought was kind of interesting is a lot of your baby boomers, so your older generation, they're not leaving their homes like they used to. Not to put the burden on them, but that was a big factor that they point up. A lot of them are staying put in the house that they raised their kids in, that they've lived in their whole lives, and they're not ready to go into an assisted living or maybe an apartment or something else, and so they're just staying put. So a lot of your resale homes are not coming up for sale as well either. So moving on down the line, let's talk a little bit about some of our other counties that we talk about. Gibson County, 112 houses sold, 119 sold this year in the first quarter, and their average house price this year is $123,976, which is not too bad for Gibson County. And going on down, we'll talk about our largest areas that we have. Dyer County, let's see, 52 houses closed this quarter, and their average sales price is $133,628, so that's not too bad for Dyer County either. So we talked about listings a few minutes